biggest mistakes people make during self-improvement is believing that success is linear. Hi, please join me for a cup of tea, and today we are drinking green tea. In Atomic Habits, it says all big things come from small beginnings. The seed of every habit is a single tiny decision. That is, that decision is repeated, a habit sprouts and grows stronger. But here is the problem. You start a habit and expect growth immediately, but real growth does not work like that. Let's take a look at this graph from Atomic Habits. It explains this perfectly. One line, the straight line, represents our expectations. The other line represents the reality, what actually happens. In between those two lines, there is something called the valley of disappointments. The valley of disappointment is that phase where you're showing up, trying, putting in effort, but nothing seems to be changing yet. And that's where most people quit, because they mistake slow progress for failure. And that's what I want us to talk about today, the difference between setbacks and failure. I like how Dr. K explains this. If I try something and I fail, the difference between a setback and a failure is whether I decide to try again. Because if I try again and eventually succeed, then the failure becomes a setback. But if I stop at that point, the failure becomes a failure. The difference here is not falling down. The difference is whether you return. And scientifically, every time you return to a habit after missing it, you strengthen neural pathways connected to resilience and recovery. So this teaches your brain, we do not quit here. Your brain starts learning, we do not quit here. Real danger here is not slipping up. The real danger is when one bad day turns into a bad week because guilt convinced you to stop trying. And what's even more dangerous is attaching identity to a setback. You procrastinate for one day and suddenly your mind says, maybe I'm just lazy. But think of it like this, if failure never existed, growth would mean nothing. We actually learn more through failure than through success. Failure, if you take it positively, it gives you feedback. It exposes weak systems. It shows you where your environment, your mindset, and your routines still need support. Even athletes, scientists, high performers expect setbacks because progress is really linear. That's why Thomas Edison said, I haven't failed, I found 10,000 ways that won't work. So in a nutshell, real growth look more like trying, falling, adjusting, learning, and showing up again. People who eventually succeed are not usually most perfect people. They are people who became unrelenting. So if you've been hard on yourself lately because you slipped up,